right, so let's settle down in a short shavasana here to start our practice. Just lie flat on your back. Just notice where your mind is at right now. And oftentimes we're just partially in the present, so take a moment to deepen your breathing. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Becoming more present in the body, in the room. Couple more. And one more. Simply step the soles of your feet together, knees drop apart. Good, and a couple times, let's start with the arms stretched out to the sides. We're gonna inhale, bring the hands together, like at the top of the chest, like you're doing a namaste towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, keep your arms straight and just let the arms drop back out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good. Again, inhale, bring your hands together, arms straight. Clasp your hands. Maybe even turn your wrists inside out and just let the arms fall back as far as they will go without any pinching sensation. So we're not always the same, so pay attention. One more inhale here. And release your hands all the way down and out to the sides again. Now step your feet on the mat. Pretty close together at the most hip width, and just drop your knees side to side. Maybe for the inhale, we go to one side and then take the exhale to the other side. So feet pretty close together today. Good, now finish your cycle here and come back to the center, and we'll do the same thing but with the left leg crossed on top of the right. So left leg over, drop your knees right. This time we'll hover, so you can go much farther than I am. You can hover, maybe turn to the left. Take another deep breath. Now pick up those knees again, left leg still crossed over, and collapse them over to the left. Feel free to shift your hips right a little. Turn your head the opposite way and breathe. Good, come back to center. Set your hips up at neutral. Now same thing with the right leg crossed over. We'll first go to the left again. Head goes to the right once more. And let's switch. Drop your knees right, head turns left. Bring it back to center, and now just straighten your legs out. Shake them out a little. Good, and now bend your right knee into your chest. Grab your belt now, put it around the right foot, and extend that leg to the ceiling. Feel free to move your leg up towards you more by just pulling with your arms. Good. Now notice how your sacrum is flat on the ground. Keep it that way. Find an ankle for your thigh, for your leg, that is where the knee is straight, and then draw the leg a little over to the left. Maybe just using your left hand. My sacrum is flat on the ground. And now press your right outer hip forward. Think right outer hip pulls to left heel. Good. Bring it back. Cross that right foot across your left thigh. I'm still holding my belt with my left hand if you want to do that too. And now fold your right knee down into a half lotus. No arching off the back. Press your back ribs down. One more. All right, release that leg completely down and bend your left knee in. Pull that knee in. One more exhale here. Good, and now use the belt around the foot and extend it up. Flexing the foot. Again, if you want some movement. Now find an angle where your knee goes pretty straight. Right hand pulls the leg over a little bit to the right. Settle the sacrum into the ground. And think left outer hip pulling down and over to the right heel. Just very subtle, but it does help that adjustment to get more into the IT band or the outer hamstrings here. Take one more easy breath. Back up. Now bend your left knee and fold the outer foot to the right hip crease using the belt or just your right hand, and press your left knee down. Nice stretch for the thigh, the quad here, and maybe the hip. Two more. Great. Release. Straighten the leg out for a breath. Just becoming more and more aware of the body moving and breathing in symphony. And now step your feet onto the mat. Hip width apart. Good. Wedge a block, which I don't have available right now because I'm using them, but wedge a block between your inner thighs here. I can use my pillow. Good. Good. So squeeze that between your thighs, arms relax down by the sides. Now, as you squeeze the thighs, rotate your tailbone under, above the floor, and lift up into a bridge. Now, we're not just going down with a straight back. Try to bring your chest in, so your upper back rounds, and then round your mid back, like one vertebra at a time goes back into the ground. The sacrum last. Again, rotate up. Use your deep core muscles, inner thigh muscles, pelvic floor muscles. And once you're straight up, high up, then we're gonna round the upper back, the mid back, the low back into the ground. Do 3 more. Work with the exhale to come up. Such a good stretch for the muscles around the spine and the sacrum. Good. And release. Let's once more drop the knees out. Soles of the feet kiss. Take your hands on the belly and take one more deep breath. Deep down into the belly. Good. And we'll meet in a seated position. Coming up to a cross-legged pose. Left ankle behind the right ankle. Flex the feet. Have a block near you if you like, and just place your hands on the knees. Now, you can sit on a pillow or a block or something if you feel like your knees are way up here. Don't do this to yourself, that you're just struggling with your knees here and your back rounded. Hips high and knees down. Good. Let's rotate the trunk. Get the shoulders to be soft. Neck and head relaxed. Maybe swaying along. If you like to close your eyes here, you can. And reverse. One more. All right, good. Pause at the center. Now extend your right leg over to the right. You can have a little bend in the knee or have the leg pretty straight. But now sweep your left arm up and slide your right hand down to the right ankle or wherever it goes, and turn your chest and gaze up to the ceiling by the left armpit area. So you should feel that nice stretch in that low left low back here, up to the arm. And of course, you might feel your right leg. 2 more breaths. Good. Come back to center and tuck that right knee in again. Good. Roll the shoulders a couple times. So back in cross-legged with a tall spine, long neck, and twist yourself to the right. Now, scan your spine. The low back is long, and then from the rib cage area all the way up to the neck, everything is twisting. Each inhale makes you grow a little taller energetically. Now turn just your head completely to the left. Great neck stretch. Maybe even wrap your right arm around your low back here to get that neck shoulder stretch for 1 more. Good. Unwind. Now take the same right leg behind you. Good. And we'll do one thing. Lean back a little, left hand on the floor, and lift your hips up. Squeeze your glutes and push them forward. Good. Release down. And now shake both legs out in front of you for a moment. All right, coming into cross-legged. Left shin in front, right shin behind. And this time we'll take the hands onto just the fingertips, curl them to the tops of your shoulders. Tap your elbows in the front. Sweep them way up and do a few big circles here. Neck stays relaxed. Good. Once they touch the next time, go reverse. Touching again in the front. One more. Good. Hands to the knees, shoulder blades set back and down. Now teeth come together. Lift your chin just a little bit, look to the ceiling, and then drop your head to the right. So this is a stretch for the left side of the neck and kind of like the side of the throat. Hence the chin being a little higher. One more breath, elbows hanging. Back to center. Look up to the ceiling, chin a little higher, and drop to the left. Come back to center. Now, I like to take actually a finger and push my chin a little back, so I'm like retracting, and look down a little. So I'm making that turkey neck, and then I lower my head to the right. So now I'm stretching my left traps in the back of the neck. Come back, push your chin back and down, and drop to the left. Elbows heavy. Good, come back to center. And now let's extend the left leg out to the left. Leg is long. Sweep your right arm up next to the ear and side bend to the left. You can always switch to nose breathing, as I explained before. I'm doing a lot of exhales through the mouth, but you can do in and exhale through the nose. One more. Good, come back up. Fold that left knee behind, foot behind you. Lean back a little, right hand on floor, and pick it up. Nice stretch from the left knee all the way up to the left fingertips. One more inhale, press those glutes forward, and come down. Exhale. Good. Now step your feet out in front of you and wide apart. Hands behind you. Good. So I'm leaning back a little. So I'm leaning into my hands. And then drop your knees all the way to the right. Now it's easy to just rotate your butt. I want you to think both sitting bones are glued to the floor and you're just windshield wipering your legs. Of course, you might rock a little bit, but try to keep that movement in the hip joint. If you feel like, wow, this right groin is could really use more stretch, cross your left ankle on top the right thigh, and hover for a moment. And then you can switch. Again, can you sit on both sitting bones to do that? It's easy to do it when I'm only sitting on my right. See, I'm all the way on the floor with my knees. That's not the point. Good, release, shake it out. And let's move on to all fours here. So first, plant your hands, spread your fingers, press your inner palms down so we don't collapse to the outer hands. And let's make big, I like to walk my knees back a little here and make huge circles with the hips. This is too hard on your knees, do arching and rounding instead. Let's reverse. Good. Let's pause. I'm going to use my little assistance here, my blocks. Step your right foot between your hands. You can curl the back toes, even fold in the mat for some extra support on the knee. Good. And now we're taking it up, hands to the thighs. And I want you to make a straight line from your shoulders to your hips. Scoop the belly button up. Good. Scoop the belly button up still the whole time. And now sink your hips just a little forward. Chest up, gaze up. You should feel this nice stretch on the left front hip. Now to make this stronger, take left hand to nape of neck. So left elbow is up and gently side bend to the right. Good. Don't keep your hips behind you. Squeeze the glutes and push in just a couple inches forward. Really good psoas stretch here. Next to the belly button on the left, all the way down to the thigh. One more inhale. And release. Let's get off that back knee. Grab your blocks if you have them. If not, use your hands on the floor. We're going right to pyramid pose. So step your left heel in a little. Two straight legs. I'm trying to keep my back pretty straight here. That's why I have my blocks. And as we did earlier lying down, I want you to rotate the right outer hip toward the back heel. That's a whole new stretch here. One more breath. Good, now look at your feet. Move them so they're hip width apart in their own little space here. Now bend your front knee, hop your left foot back so you're on the ball of the foot. And then lift your arms up into lunge. Now, same thing here. Sorry for the breathing. Same thing here. Scoop your belly button, or really the space below the belly button, up a little so you feel your sacrum drop. And now I'm getting that great stretch. Arms up, no variations here. Just press your feet through the earth. Keep your belly tight and take one more breath. Hands to your hips and step forward. I'll adjust the camera real quick. So you're in mountain pose. Just drop your arms to the sides. Good. Take another breath. Just making sure you're standing evenly on your feet here. And now float your arms up. Inhale. Clasp your hands, turn your wrists inside out, or just sway side to side a couple of times. Back to center, release your hands down. Now step your feet wider, squat into a squat position. And you can absolutely put a block for your butt and then squat down. So I'm using that block. I'm pretty much sitting on the block, but you can do it unassisted. Now, if you have the capacity, or let's say you're not using your hands right now, clasp your hands, turn your wrists inside out again, press your arms forward and round your spine back. And I'm talking about my upper back here. So really pull your front ribs and chest into the body, drop your head. Great stretch for the back. Good. Release down and then gracefully come into a downward facing dog. I'll be here on all fours, arching, rounding, but you can be back in the down dog. Good. From down dog, let's either step right away, the left foot forward, or come to all fours first. Good. Monitor your pelvis again. It's easy to do this with the butt sticking back. I want you to hand on the belly, scoop the belly up, tailbone down, squeeze your glutes, and then lean forward. I'm actually even pressing my right ankle into the floor a little. And if you want more, right hand to nape of neck, side bend, just a little bit left. So these are small movements. But I need you to keep squeezing the glutes and driving them forward a little. Back to neutral, hands to floor or blocks, and come to pyramid pose. Back heel turning in. Take the left outer hip, rotate it to the back heel. Two more. Good. Now your feet are probably too narrow right now, your stance. So slide left foot left, right foot right, and hop it back. So you're in the ball of the foot. Bend your front knee and come to lunge. And again, do that adjustment with the pelvis. Front hip points up. Back of the hips draws down. Deep breaths. Calm face. Hands to the hips and step it forward. Good. Shake it out. Whew. Great. So we will take it into a warrior two. I'm going to work with my blocks again. They're really great. If you want just a little assistance, turn your right foot to the right. Left heel slightly back, arms wide, and bend your front knee. Same thing here, by the way. We're not just sticking the butt back. Scoop the belly button area up, tailbone drops a little. We're not trying to round our back, but just neutral pelvis, and then lunge. So you get that great groin stretch here. Press evenly through the feet so we don't have more weight in the front foot. Look at the right hand. And just bring left arm on the right. The legs stay. Lift your hips, your elbows rather up. Unwind your arms back to warrior two. Inhale, either forearm to right thigh or hands on the block. Keep that right hip underneath you. Don't let it fly behind you here. Think of this as a groin stretch. Good. Press up and switch to the other side. So we'll go slow here. Arms out. Lunge into your left leg. Look at the left hand, breathe. Again, scoop that belly button area up a little, shoulders stacked over hips. And now swing your left arm under, lift your elbows, look up. Nothing changes in your stance. Good. Unwind your arms into warrior two. Big inhale. Exhale, side angle. Keep your left hip wrapped underneath you again. Look up. Strong feet and ankles. Good. Press up. Have a block near you and turn your feet to neutral. As a matter of fact, step your feet together for a moment. Rotate the ankles. Good. Now take a smaller step. Plant your big toe mounds, center heels, little toe mounds down very evenly. Reach behind you into a clasp. And just stretch your chest open. Good. Release your hands to the hips. Right where my hip creases are, I want to fold. So don't want to fold at the waist up here. Hip creases. So stick your butt back, broaden your butt, turn your heels out a little, and take your hands onto the block. So I'll come back up here. You're going to stay there. Make the block as high as you want, but I want you to really feel that the front view of your spine is long now. Now either you keep your hands on the block and sweep your right arm up into a twist, or harder, take your left hand to the right ankle and stretch your right arm up. Wherever you are, 3 breaths. We'll twist more in the ribcage as we exhale, right? Good. Switch, either right hand to block or left ankle, left arm to the sky. After about 3, return back to center, hands back to the hip creases and push up to standing. Step your feet together and just pause in mountain pose or shake it out. Good. Now we're going to use the block one more time. I want to do a half moon pose, but if you have a wall near you, you can use that wall today. So I have a somewhat even wall here, except the door. Take your right foot parallel to the wall, but you have to make it a few inches away from the wall, right? Good. Now lean forward. Put the block on the floor, right hand on the block. So you have to lean a little. And then lift your left leg up, heel against the wall, left hand up against the wall, and then rotate your left hip up. So my weight is on my right foot and my right hand. If you want to use more obliques, you can absolutely take that right hand and hover it over the floor. So you're using the pose like if you were standing on your mat without a wall and without a block. One more. Good. Gently come down and simply turn the other way. We're facing away from the wall, so my butt's to the wall, right? And let's go to this side. That leg that's up in the air is really pressing away. Make sure the right hip doesn't collapse into the room. Rotate it back to the wall. That's how you get that nice inner thigh and groin stretch again. One more. Good. Softly come down. Good. And this is it for standing. I want to do a standing forward bend to finish. So step your feet hip width apart, really anywhere in the mat, maybe the front portion. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, folding at those hip creases all the way down. I'm going to go to my knees already. You're going to be a standing forward bend, just grabbing opposite elbow and hanging your torso down. If you feel like your back is quite round, just bend your knees a little. So bend knees, longer spine, right? Take 4 or 5 breaths, maybe pendulum swinging side to side. Good, and eventually from that forward bend, make your way onto the mat into hero pose. I'll turn to you because I'm going to do the one-legged hero today. Let me adjust the camera one more time. So you can do your own version of hero. But the one-legged, I like to sit on the block, right? Bring the block across so it's broader to cover both sitting bones, and then take 1 foot forward. So I'm keeping my right foot back, foot against the block. Lean back and tuck your hips under, and maybe cross your left ankle on top of right thigh to weigh that leg down. And then just feel the thigh and the hip flexor stretch here. If you're doing the two-legged one, you can just stay. If you're in the one-legged, maybe switch now. Take that low back curve out. Like I said, rotate your sitting bones forward and under. Two more. Good. Release. And if you could please go back to a downward facing dog again. If you're not doing them currently, follow me. Just put 1 foot under, press the weight back. Maybe one more round. Excellent. And now we'll go right into cow face. So walk your knees together behind you. And this might not work for your knees. If you have knee issues, please have a seat first and then cross over. So I'm taking my left leg and wrap it behind the right leg. Now separate your feet and carefully sit back between your feet. So from the front, my right foot is on the left and my left foot is on the right. I'm going to actually release that into a cross-legged position, but you can stay in cow face. So my right knee's on top. And you can side bend to the right for a moment. Stretching that left low back area. Gonna come to center. And there is a cow face arm position too, right? So my right leg's on top. Let's bring the left arm on top. If you have a belt near you, at the arm position. Nice stretch for the shoulders, the arms. If you want to fold forward by any means, go for it if you're not there yet. At any time the arms become too much, you can release them. Just be where you are for about 4 more breaths. Good. And then come back up, release your arms. If you're seated like me, just switch your left leg on top into cow face or go back to all fours and change. So your left knee should be on top, maybe side bend to the left for a moment. Good. Back to neutral spine. This time right arm would be up, left arm under. Folding forward if you like. About 2, 3 more. And then let's come up and stretch your legs out. Shake it up. Good. We're going to go into from a twist into a deep hamstring stretch. So keep your belt near you. Step your right foot across your left knee and twist to the right. Each exhale allows you to twist, but each inhale lifts your rib cage up more. Good. Unwind. Now counter twist to the left. Turn your head, turn your chest to the left, put your hands on the floor and walk them out and drop to your forearms. Nice counter twist here. Good. Let's come back, sit tall. Left hand grabs right ankle, pull that foot into this time half cow face, right? So you notice how straight your left leg is here. Loop the belt around the ball of the foot. Make sure you're going up right by the toe roots. Pull that back and lean in just a little bit. Great for the calf, the hamstrings. Add to breathing. And as you breathe, scan the body. Where are you holding tension? We're often not aware, or we might not have a tense attitude. It's just that extra effort that the body has to keep tensing with. You can just let that go. One more. Great. Now, why don't we do something else here since we have the foot near us? Take your left hand to grab the right outer foot. Kick that up into the air. I'm going to also use my belt here. You can do too. Kick it up in the air. Try to get the right leg as straight as you can. Try not to collapse into your low back. Lift your chest, long low back, and stretch your right arm back. Unwind carefully. Shake out your legs. All right, there we go. Left side. Step your left foot over and twist to the left. Unwind, go to the right, and lower down to your forearms. All right, we're coming back up. Right hand grabs left foot, pulls it toward the right hip. Loop your right foot, half cow face, and fold in. Make sure you pull back with the belt to flex that foot. Release, shake it out, and bring the soles of your feet together. Heels pull in, sit higher if your knees are higher than your hips, and lean in. Good. Release, and let's move on to lying on the back. So I'll verbally guide you here. Lie onto your back and just bend both knees in, rock side to side for a moment. Good. And now keep holding on to your right knee, lower the left leg flat to the ground. Right arm right, and pull your right knee across the body into a twist to the left. Nice deep breaths. Stay relaxed around the spine. So we're not yanking on anything to force any cracks. Just use the breathing for 2 more. Good. Come back up, switch. Left knee pulls in, right leg lowers down. Make sure your hips are neutral here. They're not twisted or anything. Left arm left, look left. Inhale and pull that knee across the body to the right. Maybe both shoulder blades can remain on the floor here. Two more. Good. Slowly come up, bending both knees in again. And then step your feet onto the ground, knees over ankles. Extend if you can. Extend your arms overhead and lift up into a bridge pose. Now here it's really important to rotate your sitting bones under, and in other words, take your front hip points and rotate them into the body, right? So we're not coming up with this giant low back arch. So you're up in bridge, your arms are relaxed overhead. And if you can, think hamstrings and glutes. Walk on the heels, walk your legs forward as far as you can. Maybe the legs are pretty straight and you're just a couple inches off the floor with your hips, but keep that scoop under in the pelvis, using your glutes, using your core, and working, of course, your hamstrings. Okay, eventually walk your feet back, so you're back in a bridge, and carefully lower down. Lower down, drop your knees apart, soles of the feet connect. One hand to the chest, one to the belly somewhere, and take 2 deep breaths. Happy baby pose. Grabbing your feet, rocking side to side, but let that tailbone become heavy and descend to the floor. One more inhale. And then release, exhale, legs to the ground. Good, the next one, you're gonna lie flat and put a block underneath your pelvis, underneath your sacrum. It shouldn't be across the low back. You know it has to be much lower, really across your glutes. Good. And now extend your legs up to the ceiling and try your best to not round your tailbone or your sacrum off the block. Keep that sacrum flat on the block and lift your legs up, which is of course harder when you have tight hamstrings. Go. Once your legs are up, I want you to bring them wide apart. With the hips elevated on the block, legs apart. Hands can grab those inner thighs for support, but I want you to stretch those inner thighs again. Maybe rotate the ankles here. See how it feels to really straighten the knees. You don't want burning sensations on the inner knees though, be careful. Good. And now bring your legs together again and carefully step your feet onto the mat and slide your legs straight out. The block needs to be across the glutes. Remember, not up on the back. This should not hurt anything or do this lying flat. So you're lying flat, hips elevated, legs straight on the ground. Now walk your right foot right and cross your left ankle on top. So they're off center to the right, maybe overhead. Reach your arms overhead, grab your left wrist and pull it to the right. So you're like a banana propped up on that block. Take a couple breaths. And then switch, unhook your ankles, left leg goes off center left, right ankle crosses over, and you're grabbing that right wrist, pulling it to the left. Good. Release, back to center. Carefully lift off that block now. Bend your knees to the chest once more. And then release into final Shavasana, unless you have a final pose of some sort. Then do that. Otherwise, settling in, you can just lie on your back in Shavasana. And here we're just practicing the nice cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, maybe pause at the top, and exhale through the mouth. Try inhaling to the count of 4, but then exhaling to the count of 6. I'll count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more. And now let the breathing just settle. Going to soft nostrils. The lips might be slightly parted and the lower jaw dropped. Relax all the muscles around your eyes and on your forehead. Relax your jaw, your throat, and your neck. Mentally let go of any excessive thoughts or fast thinking. Just slow everything down now. For right this moment, there's nothing else to do. Nothing other than just relaxing your body against the floor and breathing. Good. Deepen your next breath. Stretch your arms overhead. Good. Release your arms down, bend your knees, and just rock side to side a few times on your back. And then come up to seated. Good. As a gesture of gratitude, place your hands in front of your heart center, gaze